Hello, this is Khabir Southwick coming to you from beautiful Ojai, California. I'm a whole food nutritionist, Ayurvedic practitioner, and herbalist, practicing in Los Angeles County, Ventura County, and Santa Barbara. This video we're going to speak about understanding the Pitta body type or dosha and what lifestyle recommendations balance the Pitta and what dietary recommendations in a general sense will also help balance the Pitta. So it's first important to understand the basic qualities of a Pitta. Pitta is very warmer in body temperature, strong appetite, intense, muscular, driven, intense person with often strong stomach acids, strong appetite for meals, doesn't like to skip meals, and so we want to balance out these qualities because this is the practice of Ayurveda, and the principle of Ayurveda is using the opposites to find balance. So the first and foremost for the Pitta, because Pitta means fire, and we clearly can identify a Pitta person by their warmer body temperature, is for the Pitta to remain cool, both physically and emotionally. Physically, this means avoiding being out in the sun, sunbathing. If you're at the beach, jump in the water, stay cool. Instead of exercising in the heat of the day, try to exercise in the early morning or the late evening when the weather is cooler. Going for walks in the evening and the night under the moonlight. These are cool, relaxing activities for our hot Pitta type. Furthermore, the Pitta should remain cool emotionally. This means not getting upset, not getting angry, doing things that are calming, listening to calming music, enjoying sweet scents, calming scents, frankincense, rose, sandalwood, these sweet scents, and having flowers in your environment. This will help the Pitta to stay calm and relaxed and to not overheat and become irritable and angry. It's also important for the Pitta to not skip meals because the Pitta, like I said, has a strong stomach acid, strong digestion, and when they do, this stomach acid can become too much. In the subsequent meal, they could get acid reflux. They could have tendency towards ulcers so they need to eat generally on a regular basis. Sometimes the Pitta will, because of their strong appetite, overeat or eat too often. But if the Pitta has 3 meals throughout the day, maybe starting in the morning with some sweet fruits like melon, and then having a breakfast, a large lunch in the heat of the day when the Pitta is the most strong, when the sun is high. This is the time the Pitta needs to eat the most. So lunch should be large, a little smaller dinner, and in between meals the Pitta can enjoy the sweet and cooling tropical foods. Pitta also has a tendency for inflammation, joint pain, skin problems. So a coconut oil is very suitable for the Pitta topically because coconut oil, unlike other oils which are like sesame or particularly mustard oil, which are very heating and warm, coconut oil is a cooling tropical oil. So it's very suitable in putting on in the summer to stay cool before you go to the beach, to moisten the skin and keep the body cool. And particularly suitable for the Pitta type, even for massage. Pitta needs to avoid, like I mentioned earlier, the heat, staying cool. Water sports are very suitable for the Pitta. Meditation to keep the Pitta calm, relaxed, and not overheated, and to not take life too seriously or get upset too easily. As far as dietary guidelines for the Pitta needs to favor more bitter, astringent, and sweet taste. That's right, the Pitta gets mostly sweet fruits, sweet grains. Sweet is very comforting to both children and Pittas. In general, the Pitta should avoid a pungent, astringent, and sour flavors like chili, cayenne, jalapenos, and too salty. They should also avoid, and definitely substances like vinegar and alcohol could further exacerbate the stomach acids and contribute to acid reflux, heartburn, ulcers, typical Pitta problems when they're eating an imbalanced diet. As far as the protein or legumes, Pitta does very good on a vegetarian diet, even though they tend to like meat. They have the capacity to digest meat. If they do have meat, I generally recommend the less oily meats like white chicken meat and sweeter fishes that are not as salty, like lake or freshwater fish. Trout, for example, sweet, gentle, not as salty. But Pitta does very good on beans as a protein source. Unfortunately, many vegetarians who become vegetarian don't realize that the most important protein source that they need to have once they eliminate animal proteins is legumes and beans. So, and since the Pitta has a strong appetite and has a need for 3 complete meals every day, the Pitta would need 3 helpings, servings of legumes every day. The best, of course, are the beans, mung beans, kidney beans, pinto beans. Any bean except a fermented bean, like fermented tofu products, like a tempeh, would not be suitable. All fermented products are a little heating and not suitable in large amounts for the Pitta body type and digestive system. That would also include yogurt, not too much yogurt, but milk. If the person is not lactose intolerant, then raw milk, not pasteurized or homogenized, of course, in healthy amounts would be suitable for the Pitta. Of course, a growing child would require a lot more dairy. As far as grains, the Pittas do once again very good with sweet grains. The sweet grains are sweet basmati rice, jasmine rice. They don't do as well with the brown rice, even though, of course, nutritionally short grain brown rice as with a husk, a little more fiber, but it can be irritating and not as comforting for the Pitta as white basmati rice. So other grains that are good for the Pitta, quinoa, amaranth, oats, millet, even whole wheat. And one of the best grains for the Pitta, most anti-inflammatory, is a barley soup, toasted barley bread. The grains the Pitta would want to avoid the most are corn, rye, buckwheat. Like I said, not too much short grain brown rice. As far as nuts and seeds, I don't recommend the oily seeds for the Pitta like the cashew or the macadamia, and I don't recommend peanut for any human. And seeds like sunflower seeds and nuts with meals are very suitable for the Pitta. The Pitta has strong digestion, so they have the capacity to digest these nuts. Now, nuts are not a suitable snack in between meals. They are dense, they have protein, they have fat. It requires a lot of digestive enzymes, bile, and stomach acids to break down nuts. This is not a suitable snack between meals. Stick with the fruit between the meals for all types, and the Pitta can enjoy the sweet fruits, not the citrus, not the sour fruits, not sour oranges, but sweet oranges, not sour grapes, but sweet grapes, and definitely not bananas. And the good fruits for the Pitta are the tropical fruits, the mango, coconut, melon. Pittas do very good with coconut water, coconut flakes, and melon during the summer is a very cooling fruit, brings down the body temperature. And other juicy fruits are also suitable for the Pitta. When it comes to dairy, Pitta has a strong digestive system and does fine with moderate amounts of dairy, not too much yogurt. And when it comes to sweeteners, Pitta generally likes sweet, has a sweet tooth, likes sweets, so sweets like cane sugar is recommended for the Pitta, and maple syrup, surprisingly, and more so than honey. Honey, again, is a little bit of a heating and warming food, and you'll find many Pittas prefer the smooth, sweet, gentle nature of maple syrup. So you should follow your body's signs and signals if you attracted to maple syrup over honey in your Pitta, because that's what Ayurveda recommended thousands of years ago for you. Pitta needs to avoid too much oily fried foods can aggravate the Pitta's stomach acids and create too much bile and create difficulties in the small intestines. And so oily and spicy foods, salty foods should be reduced. The spices that work good for the Pitta are the sweeter spices like coriander, cilantro, cumin, turmeric, saffron, fennel, cardamom, parsley, basil, mint, and even nutmeg. Mint tea, spearmint tea, these are wonderful for the Pitta between meals and to stay calm and keep cool. Coriander, cumin are very cooling and gentle herbs that can be used with warm milk for the pitta, can be used with most cooking, and turmeric also is very suitable for the pitta type. As far as spices go that it should be avoided, of course, as we mentioned, chili, cayenne, cumin, mustard, clove, black pepper, fenugreek, too much ginger. These are the spices that need to be only taken in moderation for the pitta type. And back to the vegetables. The pitta does good if we look at the vegetable plants. In Ayurveda, we just don't say have 5 helpings of vegetables a day. We tell you which part of the vegetable is most suitable for you. So we have the root, the stem, the leaves, the flower, and the seeds. For the pitta type, it's the flowers that are most suitable. This is the cauliflower, the broccoli, and the leafy greens, the dandelion greens, the kale, romaine lettuce. Leafy greens are very suitable, and raw. Pitta has a strong digestive system, and they're warm, so a big plate of leafy, cold greens is comforting or balancing, we should say, to the pitta type. And they have the digestive capacity to digest it. Pitta should avoid other things like chocolate, which is irritating, coffee, which is irritating to the intestinal tract. Anything that's irritating should be avoided by the pitta type. And vegetables, of course, they do very good with our squash, zucchini, cucumber is very cooling vegetable. So I hope you get an idea there. You're talking about a sweet basmati rice with a bean dish with mild seasoning, not too hot, a little on the bland side for other people, but the pitta food generally should be a little bland, and a large salad with almost every meal. This is a very suitable meal for the pitta type. And if the pitta follows these dietary guidelines, problems like acid reflux, heartburn will improve. Aloe vera is a very cooling, soothing substance for the pitta that they can take between meals to soothe and comfort the intestinal lining, particularly if they've had a history of ulcers. But basically, by following this pitta pacifying or pitta reducing diet, many of these conditions, digestive conditions which I mentioned, will improve greatly with the pitta. The pitta does have tendency towards loose stools, and this diet will help in firming up the stools with these large amount of fiber that you'll get from these leafy greens. And of course, the pitta needs to avoid, like I said, irritating foods, which would be any nut butter that could be a little old, or fermented foods, old foods, fermented cheeses that could aggravate the pitta. Chili, as I mentioned many times, any of these substances could aggravate the intestinal tract of the pitta and produce loose stools. So the pitta must be careful with that. But if you follow those guidelines, and you can research this diet, it's a very ancient diet. They had hot, strong, mesomorph type pitta people thousands of years ago, and they figured out what foods to give them to help them feel more balanced, more cool, and more calm. So I wish you the best. Look that diet up on your own, or contact me if you like more information. Feel free to add comments to this video. Thank you very much, and I hope you find yourself being a calm, cool,